What is up, beautiful genius? I want to tell you that you're a genius. You are special. You mean the world. And you are loved. Today's topic is to own your power. So comment below, what's your specialty? What is your hobby that you love to do? What do you think that if you had to pick something to do the rest of your life, you would do it without doubt, without any questions? I'd love to hear and get to know you guys. So it could be playing a piano, sharing with others, the mastery level of Excel. It could be how to type. I'd like to know what you are passionate about and what your power is. And let me get into the power that we all have. The power that we all have is to live through the heart. What does this power do? Is it hippie mumbo jumbo? Is it real? Does it make any changes? Well, of course it does. So if you feel happy, you're sending a chemical signal. 24/7, you're sending this chemical signal. Your brain picks up on this chemical signal and translates that into thoughts. These thoughts are what we call, these electrical signals are what we call thoughts. So one more time, because I may have slipped up there. The body, living through the heart, allows you to create an elevated emotion. You are creating a chemical signal around the clock. This chemical signal is picked up by your brain, and your brain is going to give you thoughts in form of electrical signals. And what this does is you do actions based on those thoughts. And the end result of every experience in your external world is an emotion. And that emotion is going to be stored in your memory bank. Depending on the emotional quotient of the experience determines how big of a neural network will be created in your brain. So the larger the neural network, the larger of space it takes in your brain. That means it's going to create long-term memory, and that's where you start feeding yourself thoughts from your long-term memories. So the purpose of this video is to tell you to own your power. I 100%, I love Excel. I love well, what else am I passionate about other than, living through the heart and sharing with people? It's really hard to say. I love music. I'm a big Drake fan. Anything that he drops, I'll probably have it memorized. Um, I love to tell stories. I like gaming. But my number one passion is to live through the heart, to show others that that is their power. That's something that they're born with. The United States Constitution, the longest living constitution on the planet, and to all you history gurus, if I'm wrong, please also leave a comment below. But the United States Constitution is a very old, very powerful constitution, and it starts with um, well, man, I haven't been back to history, but there is in the beginning paragraph there is your inalienable rights. So what are these inalienable rights, ladies and geniuses? So to me, it's the fact that okay, I have conscious thought. What sets me apart from other animals is that let's say my body is sending hormones showing me that I am hungry. Well, I can consciously think and say, yeah, I'm not gonna eat right now, or I'm going to wait one more hour. That's solely the universe, the creation process has given that only to human beings. Well, what is a being? Well, let's look at ourselves. You can be human. There's some text that I've read that show there's a difference between human and human being. So the difference goes into how conscious you are being. So we say the human is someone that looks very much like us, and there's probably a lot on the planet, right? Given that we're on Earth, but we will call them a human because they are not being. Being in what? Well, in their 100% total power, in their heart, in their brain, using imagination. So a human being, a human, we can look at this as the first stage of your life, where you're born and you're living life prior to becoming conscious that you can become conscious. After this, once your first awakening happens, once you are conscious without any reasonable doubt that you can be conscious, well, now it's up to you, right? Now it's like, am I going to own this power? Am I going to accept the new science? Am I going to accept quantum physics showing that my thoughts and my emotions change an outcome in my future? This is the real question here. This is the power that I want you to 100% accept. And with your power, whether it be playing the piano or the saxophone, as I myself hope to learn one day, is if you're living through the heart, if your emotional state is an ultimate high, if your mental process is at its best because your emotional body is at its best, then you're going to create better content. You're going to create better scripts. You're going to write better. You're going to be able to do math better. If you like physics and science, you will able to, from a place of coherence, you're going to be able to approach any situation. And if you're passionate about the arts, whatever they may be, then I invite you to start living through the heart, start creating elevated emotions, because this is going to translate into your art and it's going to better the work and your energy. We haven't even gotten into the whole side of the law of attraction, but I want to give you a quick glimpse so you can have an expectation for when you call me up, you get in one of these master classes, and you start living through the heart. What's going to happen? Well, the end result of every action in our external world is an emotion. That is to say that what I want when I think of $1 billion, $1 trillion, the dream job, the dream girl, we're not thinking about the physical action or object. We're correlating that with the emotional signature that it will give us. So what I'm saying again, the dream girl, I don't want her because she's beautiful. Granted, we don't even know who that is, correct? We want that. We we want to manifest this because we feel intellectually it's going to make me feel happy, empowered. We want the $1 million bank account because it's going to make me feel happy. I want the super fast car because I'm going to feel cool, empowered, and a whole bunch of other positive emotions, correct? So again, the end result of every situation, experience in our external world is an emotion. Whenever we realize this, we have to accept that we have the ability to create the emotion of fulfillment, of bliss, of happiness right now. We can affect our biochemistry right now ahead of the actual experience. So what does this mean? Well, we're master manifestors. We are the best. We are at our highest vibration. So I want y'all to own up to this, because in my journey, I believed we were not meant to think. Well, excuse me, whenever I became conscious that we have conscious thought, I thought that the best way to think was to not think. And what happened after this? I lost my family, I lost my job, I lost all my personal belongings, I lost friendships, relationships, and I ended up 100,000 miles away from the people whom I grew up with. Why is this? Well, whenever you're not thinking, but you are conscious that you can consciously think, there is a problem. The mind is going to present you ideas based on your past and the impulses coming from your future. Well, in my future, in my external world, I'm not where I want to be. So that's a signal that I'm seeing. Like, let's say I was living in a very small studio apartment. Consciously, I know that's not where I want to be, but I'm looking at it that the information in my external world has to send impulses and give off thought. They connect to my internal world. My thoughts come from my memory bank. We know that because of the size of the neocortex, that a negative thought can create the stress response. What does this mean? That our thoughts alone can make us sick. So both of these related to me not creating the life because my unconscious thought stream was not fulfilling, was not telling me to go get a job. So you might tell me, as my father did, I can't believe, why don't you go look for a job? Well, I'm here having this huge transformation, and I don't really know how to operate. What do I do? Well, the secret that I have found after losing everything, very much like the phoenix, right? Well, what is the phoenix? Whenever he dies, he perishes, he burns up, and he is reborn from his own ashes. I was reborn here 100,000 miles away from everything that I've ever known to learn that, hey, you know what, you could have saved yourself a whole bunch of time, stress, had you just been countering your thoughts. Have you just been like, you know what, I'm not gonna do that. I will listen to that thought. I don't like this one. I like this one, but how about we do this instead? That is the secret, and that is your power. Now you're an alchemist. Now you realize that my thoughts and my emotions change an outcome in my future. That's the power that I want y'all to take hold of because it is life transforming. I'm not going to sit here and give you testimony because this is for you to learn that you are a genius, you are special, you are important, and I just ask that you don't go through the learning process that I had to go through to accept that I can be conscious and to accept that there is no hindering my future if I create conscious thought. Please share this video with your loved one, with your mastermind group, with your small group of friends or large group of friends, and also comment below. What topics would you like for me to cover in the future? And any comments, ideas of future topics that you'd like to hear. I'd love to hear them. Peace, love, and happiness.